Οκ. Πάμε options, βίντεο, ultra όλα. Μήπως θα σε βάλω 3840, Windows full screen. Ναι, αμέ. Select πρέπει να το κάνω, όχι. Back θες να πατήσω, back. Ναι. Keep the new resolution, yes. Game, bla bla bla, vibration δεν χρειαζόμαστε, περνάμε καλά και χωρίς. Hide helmet off, reticle on, back, start. Ναι. Αυτό που ξεκινάς παιχνίδι και σε ρωτάει σε ποιο slot, κάντο αυτόματα στο πρώτο που είναι άδειο, ρε φίλε. Δεν ξέρω, έχω γίνει γεροπαράξενο με αυτά τα πράγματα. Όπα! Μην το κουνάς. Γανιμίδης 3820 μετά Χριστόν, παιδιά. Αν έχετε γνωστούς στην περιοχή. Γιατί όλα αυτά τα διαστημικά ξεκινάνε έτσι με καταστροφές? The Ancient Resting Place of Humanity's greatest achievement. Περαία. Return to Grace. Ενδιαφέρον.
Addy?
Τι?
Addy, please respond.
Άντι.
My everything
Πες το στα ελληνικά,
We've
καταλάβω.
been out for nearly an hour.
What's our status, Alan?
We've crashed.
Yeah, I got that.
Ο Άλεν είναι ρομποτάκι ή κάποιος...
Thrusters 2 and 4 are damaged and will require realignment.
Πίσω ο λαιμός μας δεν πάει πιο
My
αριστερά.
back. Can you let me out?
Not before we talk about your suit.
Τι εννοείς, δεν σ' αρέσει?
Talk.
I'm reading green on seals, green on batteries.
Πού τα
Thermals
διαβάζεις
are,
αυτά?
well, not green, but fine. And you have 5.35 hours of oxygen. Maybe 6 if we run the scrubbers hot. But Addy, we've had this discussion before. You won't have enough
Alan,
to...
it's fine. I have a plan.
I'm concerned that...
I have a plan.
Understood.
Να δούμε τώρα.
Open the hatch.
Αν είμαστε
Mechanical
ροζ, τι
hydraulics are
εννοείς
not
είμαστε ροζ?
responding. You'll have to pull the manual release.
Manual release. Πρώτη φορά έρχομαι στο διαστημόπλοιο. Μπορείς να βοηθήσεις περισσότερο? Α, εδώ είναι. Α, με το έσκανο που νόμιζα με το ποντίκι. Νομίζω είμαστε ματζέντα.
Seriously.
Έτσι λέγεται.
This stupid piece of junk.
Βάρ' του μια κλωτσιά, μωρέ κι εσύ. Όπα! Μα και εγώ για διαστημικά γάντια. Είμαστε πολλά χρώματα.
I'm not picking up anything new. Just the original
Τι αυτό,
beacon
πάλαινα?
signal. You'll need to use your wayfinder to locate an entry point, if there is one.
Όχι.
All right. Let's figure out where you're at, Grace.
Ωραία, από εδώ βλέπω μια
It
μπίλια.
could be anything.
Τι εννοείς?
Lost colony, a relay station.
200 distinct oral histories can't be wrong, Alan. Grace is here.
Εγώ πρέπει να έχω φετίχ με αυτά τα παιχνίδια.
I can't believe this storm. Where would this have come from?
There is record of ancient terraforming on other moons. I think it's safe to assume that Ganymede is not an exception.
Τι είναι αυτό? Σαν τέντ μοιάζει με κέρια, σαν νόμιζα σκουλίκι ήτανε. Examine. Θα με αφήσεις ή όχι? Α, πρέπει να έρθω πιο κοντά.
It's like a weather station or maybe a seismic station?
Κάνει μας
What's
στο
the era
κεφάλι
of that
αυτό.
relay from the Dawes Sea Dig? It's at least 700 years old, Alan.
700 years old. Μπορούμε να μπούμε? Όχι, όχι. Άρα πάμε πάλι προς την πύλια. Shift δεν τρέχει, space δεν πηδάει, click δεν πυροβολάει. Τι σκάτα παίζουμε?
There wouldn't be much sense of building this if we weren't within walking distance of the spire.
By all estimates, the beacon is within 400 meters.
This looks climbable.
Για να σε δω. Ω παρεθυρίο, αυτό το χάρηκα. Συνήθως άλλα παιχνίδια τέτοιο ύψος δεν μπορούν να ανέβουν, δυσκολεύονται. Ειδικά άμα είναι αυτά τα first person, τα narrative. Πάμε από εδώ έχει την πύλη, από εδώ θα πάμε. Ωραία. Πάει κι άλλη γέφυρα εκεί. Όλο το game ένα W. Ναι, πάτησα και ένα S για να τραβήξω κάτω το μοχλό. Εντάξει, όλα καλά. Παίζω παιχνίδι.
Yep, there goes the back again.
What happened?
Fell into a stupid
Πάλι καλά
fissure.
φοράει στολή.
Looking for a new way to reach the spire. Or at least some place where it will be easier to find my body.
Έπρεπε να το κάνεις δύσκολο, έτσι. Την πάρουμε τη σκάλα μαζί μας, μήπως? Θα μας δείξει το κολόχερό σου πάλι να ξέρουμε που πάμε. Όχι σε όλα, No to all accounts, λοιπόν. Φακό έχεις? Ούτε αυτό μου απαντάς. Καμία συνεργασία. That's what she said. Και πού πάμε τώρα? Βγάλε πάλι το χέρι σου να βλέπω που πάμε, ρε. Άναβια σου. Θα ξαναήρθαμε εδώ, το ίδιο είναι. Α, όχι, άλλος είναι.
So seismic then. Icequakes would be the risk of building here. So it makes sense they would track activity. The surface temperature is dropping. We can't maintain your thermals much longer.
Close. I can feel it.
I wish I shared your optimism.
Αν χωθούμε σε καμιά σας σπηλιά, κάτι τέτοιο, θα γλιτώσουμε λίγο κρύο. Γιατί βλέπω φυσάει πολύ. Ω, τι είναι αυτό? Σταθμάρα βρήκαμε, όχι σταθμό. Αυτό είναι το αρχηγείο των Power Rangers. Μονοπλησιά. Οκ. Ψιάζομαι ότι είναι από εδώ. Όχι, θα με βάλει να επιδείξω εκεί πάνω, λογικά. Έλα. Έλα, μπορείς. Μη σκοτωθείς και δεύτερη φορά. Τρίτη φορά. Μπράβο. Δώσ' το. Σήκω στα ποδαράκια. Μπράβο. Μπορεί να έχει την πιο τζαμαϊκάνικη στολή που έχω δει ποτέ για αστροναύτη. Αλλά τα καταφέρνει. Φως έχουμε, μπορούμε να ανάψουμε ένα διαολεμένο φως. Κάμω τον μπέλα με τα φώτα σας. Κοντζάμα αστροναύτες, δεν μπορείτε να έχετε ένα φως στολή σας. Crawl space, what the fuck. Κινούμε, τι κάνω τώρα? Α, όχι, loading κάνει. Μια στιγμή τρόμαξα, νομίζω ότι περιμένω εκεί πέρα για μια ζωή θα μείνω αν δεν πατήσω W. Α, τώρα θυμήθηκες ότι έχει light. Σε έλεγα τίποτα. Α, δεν έχει... Ω, slide είναι αυτό. Α, προχωράω εγώ. Γιατί δεν γλιστράει? Μην τριφτεί η στολή και έχουμε κάποιο ρήγμα.
Looks like a bit of a labyrinth, but I'm still picking up the signal ahead.
Εδώ λες και labyrinth θα είναι όλα κλειστά.
Loud and clear, buddy.
Από εδώ και ευθεία.
Structure looks to be in decent
Αλλά αυτά
condition.
κοιτάμε δεξιά-αριστερά, μην έχει εξωγήινους. Όχι, θα με βάλεις τώρα να περάσουμε σε τον μνημιστήρα? Ελπίζω όχι.
Everything can't be powered. Must be airflow in the tunnels. I have to say, there's more atmosphere than I was expecting.
Not nearly enough to survive.
Άρα κάνουμε το γύρο. Βγάζει νόημα. Μπράβο. Χώσω από εδώ μέσα. Πού? Σωστά. Τώρα σφινώσαμε. Ήρθε η ώρα να κάνουμε το Duck Under. Με τη σειρά τα παίρνει. Πού γιγά? Πάμε πιο Duck Under. Όχι, δεν έχει Duck Under εδώ. Εδώ χωρίς πάπιες. Εδώ.
Looks like the tunnels can be air sealed.
Γιατί να το κάνουμε αυτό? Πεθάνουμε εδώ. Λογικά ναι. Δεν έχουμε και άλλη επιλογή από εδώ να... γεια σου. Ευχαριστούμε για το exposition. Απλά παίρνα. Λες και δεν φαντάστηκε. Δεν νομίζω ότι υπήρχε κανένας ο οποίος περίμενε να κάνεις το examen για να καταλάβει τι πρέπει να κάνεις.
Jeez. That's got to be over 15 meters.
Έλα, όρμα.
And if gravity here is 1/6 of that on Earth,
καλό.
then a 15-meter fall here would be the equivalent of falling less than 3 meters at standard G.
Πολύ καλό
which you've
αυτό.
mastered a couple of times already on the moon's surface.
It's probably fine.
Θα σκοτωθεί,
I
ρε.
could calculate outcome probabilities based on previous drop impacts if you've already jumped, haven't you?
Οκ. Περίμενα να έρθει κανένα πόδι έτσι στα αυτιά.
Gosh, I hope this is the right way.
Πάντως αρχίζουμε να πλησιάζουμε, το γίνεται πιο έντονο το beep beep beep. Πιο συχνό μάλλον. Οπότε γλίστρα. Γλίστρα.
Oh boy, this is slick.
Άρα γεια σου,
Oh,
10 ώρες. Α, όλα καλά. Απ, να πλακάκι για μπάνιο, ρε.
Whoa.
Are you hurt, Addy?
I'm working on it. The structure is enormous. This
Το για
has to be the
σαλόνι
Grace
βασικά, όχι για
Spire, huh?
μπάνιο.
And there it is. The perfect setup for disappointment.
Τι είναι αυτό τώρα, το υποτίθεται αυτή είναι εξωγήινη τεχνολογία ή είναι ανθρώπινη πρώην που απλά εγκαταλείφθηκε γιατί του τσιμπήσανε τίποτα διαστημικά
Found the
ζωήφια. Locate power source, το έκανα locate εγώ. Examine.
Transmitter is on some sort of console.
It
Και
must
έχει
be part of the
χρωματάκια.
control network for the megastructure.
You think we can make a connection here?
Theoretically, if you run a scan, I can attempt to connect.
Α, τόσο εύκολα. Scan λοιπόν.
The interface language is quite old and sophisticated.
Είναι
But we should be able to
4
calibrate
κουμπιά με
your
χρωματάκια.
computer to
Αυτό είναι το
You can use your
sophistication.
gyroscope to sync with the terminal. I have the first calibration position. The meter will indicate when you are
Μπνευσμένο
close.
από Ατλαντίδα. Δεν ξέρω να σου πω την αλήθεια, δεν έχω πάει ποτέ. Αλλά τι θες να κάνω τώρα? Ακουνάω αυτό τώρα. Τι φάση, αυτό πρέπει να πάει σε κάποια τρύπα, είναι σαν να γίνεται τα παιχνιδάκια.
Watch the
Το
meter
βρήκα.
closely and move your hands slowly to find the position.
Το λύσαμε.
First position is locked. Second calibration position is up.
Έλα.
That's
Κλατς.
2, and here's the final position.
Α, 3 δεν είναι 4. Ωραία, εδώ. Εδώ. Εδώ.
That's it.
Πόσο
We
ιδιοφυΐα να είμαι. Λύνω αρχαίους
Accessing the network now.
Αν νόμιζα παίζαμε τώρα εκείνο το άλλο, το φούσμπολ. Όπα! Αυτό είναι τέτοιο για κουζίνα. Έχω δει τέτοιο
Alan,
ακριβώς σε
there?
κουζίνα. Λοιπόν, να το.
Alan?
Τα πετσεριά κουζίνας. Κλεμμένο από εκεί.
visitor.
Οπ,
Let's have a look.
τι είναι αυτό?
Where's Alan? Who is this?
Who is this? Who are you? Entering a home without
Δεν
knowing
έχει
its
άδικο σε αυτό
host.
τώρα.
Are you Grace?
Good question. I'm not entirely Grace. I'm running on just a small part of her logic processing.
Οκ.
Grace is still here.
And what brings you here?
My name is Adamari Ito. I'm an explorer.
I must
Adamari
apologize,
Ito.
Adamari. It would appear I have lost much of my capacity. I cannot see very far beyond the room
Θα
we
την
are in.
κουβαλάμε τώρα και θα έχουμε
I've lost
διαφορετικά
connection, I should
AI
say.
να μας κάνουν άλλες
You
δουλειές.
won't need Alan here. I can show you around.
Will you be able to let me out of this room?
Of course. But until we are able to restore power to the station, I will require your assistance. There should be a manual winch set in the floor at the foot of one of the sliding doors.
Οκ. At the foot of one of the sliding doors.
This must be it.
Working the
βρήκαμε την
winch
πρώτη.
will open the door.
Οκ. Work the winch τότε. Δεν κάτι να κάνω.
Do you know where Grace has been all this time?
Grace went somewhere?
Έτσι.
She's been gone for
Τρομπαρέτο.
hundreds of years.
I am running on a very old server. My memories predate the completion of the Grace Spire.
Grace ushered in humanity's golden age. Peace across the system, booming interplanetary trade.
Α, ήταν το πρώτο AI που είχαμε, όχι το πρώτο, βασικά το
And then she was
πιο
gone.
χρήσιμο.
It all fell apart.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Well, you're a lot more than an archaeologist usually gets.
Οκ, κάτι κάναμε τώρα.
The first step to
Ανεβήκαμε.
restoring Grace is to bring the Spire's power station back online.
Let's do it.
I'll light the way.
Ευχαριστώ. Θες να κάνω κάτι
What do I
εδώ?
do here?
This is a
Παίζω
security
tic-tac-toe.
panel. I am decrypting the pattern now. Ah, yes. Simple enough. You'll need to light up 9 buttons, forming a square at the center of the panel.
Τι line-up?
Okay.
Forming a
The 9
square.
buttons in the center.
That is what I said.
Αχ, θες WCD.
If you're not Grace, then what do I call you?
I don't believe there are any identification strings in my base logic that would suffice.
I'll call you Logic then. For now. Till we have a better idea of who you are. And, you can call me Addie.
I will refer to you as
Ωραία.
Addie, then. Until we have a better idea of who you are.
Και ξυπνάδες. Κάτι με λέει
So what
φορμάτι θα
exactly
φας.
are you?
The station's emergency server had defaulted to Grace's original logic processing. That's me, as you've suggested. The server can also run a program dedicated to the control of infrastructure. And a third
Θυμίζει
system
πολύ
dedicated
60s,
solely to
70s sci-fi
empathizing
πάνω.
with
Έχει την
and
ίδια αισθητική με το άλλο που
understanding
παίζαμε.
humans. When power is restored, Grace's primary servers should come online, and we will become some small part of Grace's consciousness.
Αχα.
This looks like metallic rock.
The power station is set into the spire's foundation stone.
The foundation stone would have been an asteroid, right?
Most certainly. About 50 cubic kilometers, from what I can recall.
Amazing. Most accounts of Grace's origins talk about an asteroid being pulled from the heavens. That makes sense. There wouldn't be any construction resources on Ganymede and nothing to anchor the structure. I can't imagine the effort it would have taken to redirect an asteroid that big. We don't do anything like that today. Can you open this?
With some difficulty. I will need to direct power from logic to control processing. And I will not function at the same cognitive level until full power
Όχι,
is
και κάτι θα
What do you
γίνει.
mean at the
Το
same
invisible,
level?
ναι.
Good luck, Addie.
Invincible, όχι invisible.
You still there?
Where would I have gone?
You
Oh,
sound a
άλλος.
little different.
Just stronger. The voice of control resonates through the very walls of the structure.
Τι φάση
I shall
λογική
start
κάνανε.
the turbine after you prime the generators that open the spillway.
And this turbine still works?
Ωραίο voice acting.
It worked before, and it will work again. You shall find the generators on the platform at the other side of the room.
Alrighty.
Πρέπει να πάω στο άλλο side of the room πρώτα. Other side of the room, other side of the room. Γεγονός ότι δεν τρέχει. Καταρχάς έχουμε πόδια. 10 πόντους μόνο για αυτό. Το γεγονός ότι δεν τρέχει είναι λίγο κουραστικό, αλλά δεν
What
πειράζει.
happened here? Someone ripped this apart.
Go to the 3 generators overlooking the turbine.
3 generators overlooking the
why do you
turbine.
need
Αυτή
me to
είναι.
start these?
Tradition.
Ω,
A time-honored failsafe of including human hands in the operation of this station.
γιατί όλα θέλουν τρομπάρισμα.
So, do you share memories with the logic processor?
Indeed, we are all part of Grace. Aspects of her infinite power. Shadows of what was and
Εντάξει, έχω
promises
ξεφύγει
of what
πάντως
will
στο
be.
τρομπάρισμα. Έχω γίνει
I
πολύ
was the
καλύτερος.
light that shone in the darkness. I was the hand that divided the firmament.
Τι λες, ρε. Καταπληκτικός. Ωχ,
The turbine has failed us.
That's
και
not
εσύ
good.
εμένα.
I must call upon you to cast out the wicked instrument.
The what?
Γιατί
The
μιλάει.
broken turbine. You
Όπα,
must go to it now.
α, είναι εδώ.
Alright.
Οκ, να πάω να κάνω replace turbine. Πώς το πω εκεί κάτω. Α, από εδώ. Μοιάζει μπασανσέρ αυτό. Κουφόπουλες, ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ για το spell, Να είσαι καλά. Οκ.
Going down.
Α, απλά μπαίνω μέσα. Πού βγαίνω, πού βγαίνω. Εδώ
I'm
βγαίνω.
safe to be down here, right?
You shall not be harmed. You must uncouple the safety latches.
Για
Sounds
με.
unsafe.
It is not.
Και λογικά πάμε από την άλλη να κάνουμε το ίδιο και μετά θα γίνει τουρμπίνα. Θα φύγει πάνω ή κάτω. Το κάτω νομίζω είναι πιο καθυσχαστικό. Το πάνω δεν μου αρέσει. Γιατί δεν πρέπει να ξαναπάει κάτω.
You must now go to the magnetic crane.
Πού σκάτα είναι όλα αυτά, μωρέ.
You're sure I'll be able to fix this?
Τι τεχνολογίες
If
και
you trust
μπουρδες
in
είναι
my
αυτά αν δεν
word.
μπορεί να τα κάνουμε όλα από ένα
Yes.
σημείο. Γιατί δεν τα κάνατε smart. Να λες ok control, κάνε αυτό και να τα κάνει. Να χέσω για AI, να τα ξέρετε, να τα στείνετε. Λοιπόν, έλα εδώ magnetic crane, τώρα θα αρπάξουμε.
You must first cast out the old turbine.
Ναι βρε, cast out και εσύ Μωυσή.
Now cast aside the wretched unit.
Να το κάνω, cast aside. Άιντε. Κλατς, 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 κλατς. Hoist.
Now you shall place the new turbine.
Φαντάζομαι αυτό είναι το new turbine. Δεν έχει και πολύ χώρο για λάθη. Έχει πολύ χώρο γιατί είναι μεγάλα, αλλά δεν έχει πολύ χώρο γιατί δεν έχει πολλά. Και, έλα, αλλιώς αργεί λίγο να νιώσει. Κατέβαστο. Πεις πως είμαστε σίγουροι ότι δουλεύει και η άλλη τουρμπίνα, δεδομένου ότι όλα εδώ πέρα μέσα είναι κάποιες ηλικίας.
Hello?
Everett, is that you?
Όπα, ποιος είναι αυτός?
Everett.
Ποια ήταν αυτή τώρα που μίλησε?
Behold my power.
Η τουρμπίνα, μπράβο, στα αέρια
I
είναι η δύναμή σου.
am reborn. Humanity will once again flourish in the brightness of my glory.
AI ναρκωμανή πρώτη φορά βλέπω. Όπα,
I think she
γιατί?
was here for a moment. She was calling to someone. Do you know who Everett is?
No. With power restored, my mind is clearer, sharper. But I could not tell you who Everett is.
You must leave this place at once. Return to your vessel and spread word of my return. From Sol's fiery core to the icy Kuiper expanse, all must know.
Ναι, οκ, το χάσαμε
I've
γι' αυτό,
hijacked
ναι.
the volume control. I don't feel like this is going to be a short commandment. We'll see how long before he notices.
Οκ, μαλώνουν μόνο μεταξύ του οι προσωπικότητες του AI.
I want to know if Grace can be brought back.
There is more complex to explore if you head back to the control room through which you entered. We should determine where in the megastructure my central processors are located.
Οκ, να
Perhaps
το
along the
κάνουμε.
way you may learn more about this Everett.
I forbid you to linger a moment longer.
And he's back.
Like a divine comet, dive from the outer reaches and spread light and understanding.
Σαν τους
to the
Αμερικάνους
inner
τους
Please.
κήρυκες.
I'm not leaving.
And you were showing such promise.
Να μου αφήσεις τίποτα τώρα να κάνω μια δουλειά εδώ?
These look like cartridges.
I have prototype designs in memory for something similar. They are unused recording devices.
Recording devices?
Unused.
Why so many?
I have no record of how they were used.
Do you know what these are?
I have no record. They are likely parts to support the workings of this station.
Οκ, άρα πρέπει να φύγω να πάω πίσω. Πάλι κερδίσαμε. Ρε. Απ' τη μια νίκη στην άλλη. Σαν τους Bulls των 90s έχουμε γίνει. Άρα πάμε πάλι πάνω. Στο κεντρικό δωμάτιο μας είπε η φιλενάδα. Να κάνουμε και εκεί δουλειά. Φύγαμε.
Are there any accounts as to why Grace was shut down in the first place?
There's no electronic
Κάτι
record
μου
at all.
λέει ότι
That would have
κάποια
been lost
μαλακία
during the
έκανε το AI η Grace. Κάτι πήγε να πάρει κανέναν έλεγχο,
Much of
κάνα
humanity's
τέτοιο.
record keeping would have been managed by Grace. So, she went down 900 years ago, so did the ability to record what happened. The research that led me here was based on oral histories mostly, and some artifacts we uncovered.
Λοιπόν, το κάνω κόλαβο τώρα. Η
Relay devices
Grace
that were once connected to
έβγαλε
Grace's network.
γλώσσα
Then we
και οι
share an
άνθρωποι την
interest in
κλείσανε.
shedding light on this dark age.
Ή την πολεμήσαν για να κλείσει, τέλος πάντων, κάπως έτσι. Το βλέπω να έρχεται. Πόσο μακριά
From what I can
ήμασταν?
tell, there is some sort of transit system on the other side of the control room,
Α, έχει
which
και
should lead you to the
τρένο.
other parts of the spire.
Οκ. Καλό μη βγαίνουμε πάλι έξω, έχει ψύχρα. Άρα πάω από την άλλη τώρα.
I will illuminate the door leading to this transit system.
Ναι, κάτω, γιατί δεν φαντάζομαι ότι είναι αυτή που είπες ότι είναι απέναντι ήδη. Να είσαι καλά. Τι σχηματάκι θα παίξουμε εδώ?
Alas, I require your nimble fingers again.
Το ίδιο?
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. The Phoenician letter to.
Who would know that?
I don't know. Perhaps an archaeologist?
Έχει δίκιο που την είπε τώρα.
How about the Greek letter chi?
Κάι. Τι λες βρε Ζάβλαξ, ποιο είναι το Κάι? Βασικά.
The Roman numeral 10?
Okay, okay.
Κάι.
tell me you know your Roman numerals.
Roman numeral 10.
How about a big fat X? You know that one? Perhaps it's the symbol you use to sign documents.
Just give me a sec.
Κάι εννοούσε το χ. Σοβαρά μιλάτε, ρε Αμερικάνοι?
Got it.
This is not the way to your ship.
Do you believe Grace could have done something to cause humans to turn on her?
Ναι,
Like what?
Like becoming too overbearing?
το βλέπω να έρχεται.
Humans would have been given no reason to question my bearing.
It's one of my theories, yes.
Ωραίο σαλονάκι.
This must be the main entrance. I'm guessing the landing pad is on the other side of the big doors.
Τι είναι
That's
αυτά?
correct, Addie. Though the pad appears to be buried under meters of ice.
What are these for?
They appear to be terminals for processing visitors to the spire.
Εισιτήρια για να
But
μπει
they
στο
no
μετρό
longer
είναι.
store any useful information.
Ωραία, το δερματάκι πάντως τόσο χρονών ακόμα στέκει, Δεν ξέρω τώρα να το φυσήξω, αν ξεφλουδίσει, αλλά...
This looks Olympian or Neo-Egyptian.
Neo-Egyptian,
The
είναι, όχι
triangle must
Olympian.
represent the spire. Beautiful, don't you think?
Does it matter if it's beautiful?
That's another way to see it, sure.
Okay. Άρα πάμε πάνω. Τώρα αυτό είναι σανσέρ ή πόρτα? Ή airlock να μας
Is
πετάξει
this an
έξω.
airlock?
Yes. The spire beyond this point can be pressurized. I assume
Πώς
your
ξέρω
suit
τα
has
διαστημόπλια
limited
μου,
I have about 5 hours left.
5 hours, έχεις πριν καμιά ώρα.
Were you assuming station life support could be restored?
Well, can it?
I believe so. But for reasons I'll never understand, life support is controlled by empathy processing.
Empathy
I
processing.
suppose they had to give it something to do. I will enable that programming now.
Ω, και θα είναι κάτι κλαψιάρικο.
Hello, Addie.
Γεια σου,
Hello.
Empathy.
So you're going to get oxygen going?
The process has already begun, my friend. No rush. If you let me accompany you along the path ahead, I can balance the environment to your life force as we walk.
Oh, here we go.
Ω,
Wow. How are these plants still intact?
They must have been subject to a very sudden drop in temperature while still alive.
έλα ρε.
What is this place?
Remaining connected to one's natural world is important for a person's well-being. A fitting starting point for those entering the structure, don't you think? Do you recognize any of the objects in this section of the garden? I'd love to know what you think of them. For the calibration process.
This must be Terra Classical, or made in the style.
The ancient Greeks boarded their ships and set out to explore the world, discover its gods, and conquer its monsters. You are an explorer, Addie. But are you here to meet a god or to slay some beast, I wonder?
Am I doing
Τι
this
είναι
right?
κινέζικο? Όχι, ρωμαϊκό είναι
I'm
αυτό.
sorry. This cannot possibly be necessary.
Temperature preferences can vary considerably between individuals. Careful calibration is essential.
How about above freezing and we proceed?
It's really up to Addie. If you don't wish to consider more objects, I can set the temperature within a survivable range, and you can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs.
Όχι, όχι, θέλουμε καλύτερη
This statue
θερμοκρασία.
could be outer colonial. It's simple, but it's quite beautiful, I guess.
And why would its beauty matter?
People like pretty things.
A human truth spanning thousands of years.
What's the point of this, Addie?
I'm an explorer. I'm here to learn.
Α, μόνη. Αυτό είναι
I
Viking.
have no idea what this is. A weapon or tool of some kind?
It's a device for working metal. Why do you suppose it's in this garden, Addie?
Δεν είχατε χώρο
It
αλλού?
could be a symbol of hard work.
An industrious future? Or a laborious past, perhaps? You're not a planner, are you?
I've been told that.
Δημοκρασία που είναι τώρα? Ω,
Is this a lantern?
An expression of our certainty in the flow of time.
ή φως.
How so?
A craftsman spent months carving this remarkable device based on the absolute certainty that after day, night would follow.
All right, I follow.
What would you say these objects have in common?
They're
Ιστορία.
artifacts from long before the building of the station.
The things we leave behind say something about us, don't they?
What a society leaves behind is all we have in understanding how they lived.
But we're interested in what you were willing to leave behind in order to come here.
Haven't left a whole lot, to be honest.
I believe that's all I will need to set the perfect temperature.
Finally.
You can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs.
Οκ, να πάω. Ωπ, τι είναι αυτό, σαρκοφάγος?
This looks like Pacific Revival. Part of an archway, maybe. That's a pretty big piece to ship all this way.
So it must be important. Even though it's no longer holding up a roof.
I guess its purpose has changed.
As can happen with people, too. Do you see them, Addie? Life in perfect stillness?
Δώσ' τα μία. Δώσ' τα μία να το ακούσουμε.
Flowers defying the hoarfrost.
Ποιο?
As you have defied the emptiness of space to arrive here.
Ωραίος
I
κήπος πάντως.
guess.
Καλωστημένος.
Pardon me?
Which one of these blooms best embodies your spirit?
Seriously?
Η
It's
τσουκνίδα.
important I know these things in the balancing of illuminatory ergonomics.
Fancy words do not make this any less idiotic.
Go ahead, Addie. There are no wrong choices.
Α, και θα επιλέξω τώρα λουλούδι. Περίμενε, αυτό τι είναι? Yellow flower. Α, αυτή είναι οι γνώσεις μας πάνω στα λουλούδια. Yellow flower, blue flower.
By all means, take your time if you need it.
Σε ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Red flower, blue flower, dead flower. Ξέρεις τι, πάμε red flower, να τελειώνουμε.
I had a feeling you'd pick that.
Ω,
You're a risk taker. There's a passion in you, a fire you can barely contain that
σαν να
drives you
διαβάζω
to
τα ζώδια
complete
είναι.
your mission. I'm making the lighting adjustments now. Ah, perfect timing.
Το ίδιο,
The room is
το ίδιο
fully
φως ακριβώς
compressed and we
έχεις.
can go about setting oxygen levels.
Το ίδιο
Call
ακριβώς
me
φως έχεις.
old-fashioned. But how about the traditional 21%?
Go ahead and seat yourself at the center of the pergola.
Α, οκ. Πάμε στη μέση της πέργολας. Α, και θα μας φυσήξει σαν τη Μέρλι Μονρόι τώρα αυτό.
Very good. Now, when
Α,
you're
είναι και
ready,
ξύλινο το πάτωμα για να απορροφάει ενέργειες και
My
σούπες.
helmet?
of course. You can't sample the air I've prepared with it on.
And you're sure it's safe?
Your well-being is the most important thing, Addie. I'm certain it is safe.
Μήπως να μην το κάνουμε?
Okay.
Now I want you to take a deep breath.
Α, πρέπει να πατήσω το κουμπί του στην ώρα.
A nice, deep breath. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful.
Εντάξει, όλα
And
στρώσαν
when
τώρα.
you're ready,
Α,
another
πάλι.
deep breath in.
Πάλι πρέπει να συγχρονίσω.
Deep as you can, Addie. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good, Addie.
Να είσαι
Feel all
καλά.
that built up stress from your
Πρέπει να
long
σταματήσει, αυτά έχουν αρχίσει να με εκνευρίζουνε.
release into the ether.
Oh, please.
Shut out any negative energy and take in another life-nurturing breath. Fill those marvelous lungs.
Ευχαριστώ.
Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Wonderful.
Even the station has a limited supply of oxygen.
Next, I want you to really open your body by reaching up toward the sky.
Οπ, stretch tap κιόλας θέλει. Έτσι, ναι. Ρε, gameplay τι περιμένατε?
Wonderful.
Διαστημική γιόγκα
How's that
περιμένατε να
feel,
κάνουμε
Addie?
ποτέ σε gameplay?
Kinda nice.
Αστείο.
And we're almost done the calibration.
Τι φάση,
For
τι
our
είναι όλα
last
αυτά?
exercise, I will ask you to stand up.
Okay.
Μάλιστα.
Now, once you're centered,
Ναι.
you can hold your hands in a relaxed position in front of you.
Τι εννοείς relax μας?
Now transfer your weight
Αυτό
onto
εννοείς.
one foot.
Α, όντως γιόγκα
I
κάνουμε.
want you to hold that for 10 seconds.
Εύκολο.
Okay.
What could this possibly have to do with oxygen levels?
It's about balancing.
Literal balancing? Unbelievable.
Almost there.
Το έχουμε, μην ανησυχείς. Είμαι βράχος, είμαι αιώνιος.
2, 1. And that's 10 seconds. Excellent, Addie. We've
Ευχαριστώ.
done great work here today.
Ευχαριστώ.
I've made note of these settings for the other parts of the station.
Και γι' αυτό ευχαριστώ.
So we can move
Τα
the
στρώσαμε
transit
όλα,
system
έτσι.
now?
The door out is just up the stairs past the flowers.
Έχει τρελαθεί αυτή, έτσι. Έχει τρελαθεί, δεν τα άντυχε αυτό που συμβαίνει.
I'll do my best to get the oxygen mix just right in the rest of the station. Just let me know if anything is not quite working for you.
You don't suspect Grace was shut down in a human conflict?
Maybe. Or you were abandoned over time.
Abandoned?
We've walked away from a lot of great things.
Δεν ξέρω. Τους ήμασταν πολύ αναγκασμένοι.
These tracks move transport pods to other levels of this complex.
Τώρα από εδώ πάω λογικά, γιατί από εκεί το βλέπω διέξοδο. Get transit working.
You wouldn't build a system like this if you didn't need to move a lot of people. Which bodes well for finding something cool.
Φας μήπως ήταν σκηνικό το τέλος του Krypton.
This must be the transit control room.
Και έπρεπε να φύγουνε.
No power?
There is no current running to this console. Control will be required to reroute power.
And you defied my wishes to tell the solar system of my return.
I'm just looking for answers,
Έχουμε και
boss.
αυτόν εδώ.
I am the only answer.
Control? Fine. Where's the electrical access for the room?
To the left of the rear door. But as I said, you will need control to reroute power to the console.
This era of electronics is dead simple.
Rear door
Hard to take a look.
to the left.
This looks like a welder's jetpack.
Jetpack. Μήπως το πάρουμε?
This one's been disassembled.
To the left, to the left. Αυτό είναι εδώ.
This should show the power status of the room's various systems. Well, nothing in the room is on standby.
As I'd said.
I'm gonna have to look at the breakers.
Okay.
My dad worked on older machines for a living. They're not predictable things. They have quirks.
I sense that there is joy in this work for Addie.
Well, I can tell you there is no joy running to any of those breakers.
Sometimes a good whack will knock something into place.
It's worth a try.
Γνωστή ως η ρώσικη
Well, there's your
μέθοδος.
problem right there.
Ανά, γεια
Someone's
σου.
removed the entire power relay.
As I told you.
So why can't Control help us? Isn't he programmed to serve humans?
He's more accustomed to tasks like maintaining power grids across
Πρέπει να
entire
βρούμε άλλο πράγμα
planets.
τώρα εδώ.
While
Να ψάξουμε
I'm
αυτό.
very much attuned to the needs of individuals.
What about you, Logic?
I apparently offer wisdom to the wind.
You activated Control and Empathy.
For all the good that did us.
Is there another configuration we can call on?
Grace's core processors contain only these 3 systems.
Can you combine the systems? Take the edge off Control with a little empathy?
I suppose it's possible. But there's no telling what the outcome of something like that would be.
Could it be any worse than Control?
It can always be worse.
It sounds like a wonderful idea, Addie.
You're right. What do I know? Don't blame me if he turns out to be a murderer.
Addie?
Yep, it's me.
Great. What are we doing again?
We're powering up pods.
So, you want to hotwire this thing?
Yes, please.
All
Τώρα
right.
κοίταξε παιδάκι.
Rerouting is good to go. You can meet me at the breaker panel.
Εδώ δεν
Go
είναι.
ahead and flip the switches.
You got it, pal.
Ωραία.
And I'm Pal?
Sure. We'll call you pal.
Breakers
Ωραία.
look good. Now you can push the buttons that turn on the different systems.
Όμορφα, το φτιάξαμε. Δεν ήταν κάτι.
Power's up. I'll let you do the honors.
Τι ρε κάνω. Να πάρω το jetpack.
Go ahead. Push the throttle on the console.
Push the throttle. The
Here we
pedal to the
go.
metal. Ωραία. Όπα.
That's not good.
Αν το πάμε πάνω και
I'm
το
so sorry, Addie.
ξαναχτυπήσουμε.
I thought I would have enough power to do this for you. It seems so important for you to ride in a pod.
Όχι,
I
βάλτε
think the
κλάματα.
track is just jammed with ice.
Ice? You'd think I would be able to handle a little ice.
It's okay. Is there some kind of de-icing system or something?
I don't know.
There is not.
All right, let's look for something to deal with the ice.
Φλογοβόλο. Μήπως πάρουμε το jetpack να το χρησιμοποιήσουμε να φτάσουμε εκεί πάνω για να σπάσουμε τον πάγο. Είναι μια πολύ καλή ιδέα και
Someone looks
θέλω
to
να
be a
πάρω το
working order.
jetpack.
Would it be heavy enough to smash the ice?
Maybe. But I'm more interested in what that welding gun might do to the ice.
Άρα, για πάρω το ρημάδι.
All right, pal. Let's try this one on for size.
Ναι.
So, what's it gonna do exactly?
Oh, I think you're gonna like it. This is a welder. See if it still works.
Look at that.
Ωραία.
A little blue light.
That's not gonna cut it.
Χρειαζόμαστε
Are you able to
παραπάνω.
control this?
For you, I could definitely try.
Can you open the fuel throttle to the torch?
Okay.
Κάτι με λέει τώρα θα βγάλουμε κάνα φλογοβόλο.
Whoa. I like that. What is it?
It's called an icebreaker, pal. Any idea where the flight controls are?
Someone remove them.
Okay.
Και πώς θα
I can
πετάξουμε?
take control if you like.
You know how to fly this?
Looks pretty easy.
Oh.
Stuff shoots out the back and you get thrown up into the air.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. It's working. We can fly.
Easy, pal.
Well, where do you want to go?
Γιατί δεν μπορούμε κάπως?
Alright. If you can move me to the pod, we can have a look at the ice. And, pal, super important that you don't cut the engines or move too fast. I don't want to get hurt.
I know, but it's great, isn't it?
Yep. As long as you don't kill me.
Η μουσική δραματική για ποιο λόγο?
Alright.
Ή στο τέλος θα μας σκοτώσει? Δώσ' του.
It's so bright and warm.
Just hold me steady.
Μη με κουνάς, μπράβο,
This
ναι.
is really hard.
Μη με κουνάς.
It's these stupid flames are throwing me around.
Κάτσε, ηρέμησε, ηρέμησε.
You may want to ease up, Addie. Don't push him too hard.
Οκ, γλυκά, γλυκά. Γλυκά, γλυκά. Να φαντάζομαι, ήδη περνάς ή όχι? Θέλει και αυτό? Ωραία, το καθαρίσαμε.
Let's have a look at the rest of the track.
You got it.
Πάμε πιο πάνω.
As long as you're not using the fire shooter, flying is pretty easy.
Just keep it up, literally. There's more ice here on the right.
Οκ.
Oh, hold it steady.
Όμορφα.
Sorry.
Όμορφα. Έλα. Όπως αυτά που είναι πιο ανοιχτόχρωμα πρώτα. Όμορφα, ωραία. Κίνες μας στο τέλος εσύ. Κάτω σταθερό. Έλα, έφυγε. Έφυγε, λίγο έμεινε. Μπράβο. Επόμενο.
On it.
Έτσι με αυτή τη μουσική που παίζει περίμενα να μου την πέσει και τίποτα να αρχίσω να το καίω. Αλλά κρίμα, απογοητεύτηκα.
Now you've got the hang of it.
This is so cool. It's like the best day of my life.
Well, I'm afraid we're almost done.
Κουνάς. Ωραία, αυτό καθάρισε. Και αυτό καθάρισε. Λίγο έμεινε. Κούκλι.
I think that's it.
Κούκλι.
Do you think you can get me back?
Yeah, I know. Got stuff to do.
Καλή φάση. Θα ήταν πιο ωραίο μας άφηνε να το πετάξουμε εμείς, αλλά δεν είναι
That's
τέτοιο το
fun, pal.
παιχνίδι.
We make a good team, right?
Yeah, I like the part where we burn the ice while flying.
Me too.
Μπράβο.
Okay, I'm gonna bring down the pod.
Ενδιαφέρον, ο control με λίγο έμπαθη είναι σαν παιδάκι. Bring down the pod. Α, ναι. Ξέχασα τι έκανα τόση ώρα, από τη χαρά μου. Οκ. Άρα μπορώ να κατευθυνθώ προς τα εκεί για να μπούμε μέσα στο ασανσέρ. Γεια σας. Πολύ κυριλέ, ρε.
So, where are we
Και
heading
padding
again?
στην άκρη για να
I will be
έχουμε
able to
ατύχημα.
obtain structure schematics once we reach the next level.
Κάθομαι στη μέση.
Think we'll see any dead bodies?
Hope so. Do you know if the pod system has stops along the way?
It does not. We are arriving at the track terminus now.
Ναι. Α, φτάσαμε. Νόμιζα ότι κάποιο malfunction είχε έτσι πως ακούστηκε. Ω.
This looks like a settlement. Can't believe how well preserved it is.
You think People
Και
could be
είναι τα
alive
χρώματα
in
της
there.
στολής
You
μας.
should really consider thinking before you speak. And then consider not speaking.
Logic. As long as life support is functional, it's not entirely impossible that someone's taken up here.
Or they could be zombies.
Well, that settles it. I'll disable Pal now.
Don't you
Σταμάτα,
dare.
βρε.
We might need him.
Γκρινιάρα.
Ooh,
Λοιπόν,
more buttons.
You really are unburdened by intellect, aren't you?
What's the pattern here?
It's the Latin zes.
Huh?
Right, slower processors. You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make it the full width and height of the panel.
backwards Z.
Just having PAL running in the background is making us all a little stupider. If we did switch PAL off, I could always switch him back if we need to burn something.
There.
Κούκλι. Άμα ξέρεις από λατινικά έτσι γίνεται.
I've been thinking about why anyone would want Grace to be shut down.
Για
And I
πες.
wonder if there could have been a flaw in her base programming.
Like what?
Control and empathy programming divert valuable processing power away from cognitive ability.
Which way am I going?
The big colorful doors. As I was saying, empathy interferes with practical decision-making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop.
Ήθελε να πάρει τον έλεγχο
It says
του
Keeper
AI.
Rosaline.
She looks like a keeper.
She's pretty.
What do you suppose a keeper is?
It must have been a revered title if a statue was made for her.
Huh. Spire caretaker, maybe.
Το χέρι της λείπει. Και τα δύο χέρια της λείπουν. Αλλά πατουσίτσες εκεί. Καταλαβαίνεις που δώσαν προτεραιότητα. Τι έχουμε εδώ πάλι?
The key to restoring Grace may be about understanding her potential flaws.
Are you going to tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws?
Having a few flaws is perfectly all right.
Logic sounds jealous to me.
Jealous? Of what? You can't even open doors without me.
Where are you going with this?
We'll talk again once you can tell me whoever it is. Figure that out, and I'll grant you access to the main elevator.
Grant me access?
Discover...
Logic.
Discover Everett. Και τώρα τι
Seriously?
μας το παίζει
She has
δύσκολη?
no way to do things without your help. It must be frustrating for her.
Could we create
πού
another
θα βρω?
hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made me. I could give it a try.
Stop, stop, stop. You'll burn the place down. I will run a logic and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow PAL here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Deal.
Άρα κάποια
I
στιγμή θα
don't think that
συναντήσουμε
smart
κανένα
lady
θυμό,
likes me
κανένα
very
τέτοιο.
much.
Για να δω.
Hello, Addie. Where do you want to start?
Can we
Γιατί
start with the security
βγήκε
door
σαν
to
customer
the settlement
support?
elevator?
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps
Room
we'll
to the
find something
side.
helpful there.
Α, οκ.
So you can open these ones?
They have simple passcodes. I can retrieve and play back for you.
Θα
You
έχει
will need
ηχό.
to enter the sequence manually.
Παίξ' το. Αυτό ήτανε. Οκ. Ου. Τι έχουμε εδώ? Μπλιμπλίκια. Strip pole.
This looks like another control room.
Χάρτης.
Looks like the image from the spire entrance. This must be the spire structure. It must be in this section here. Can you tell me where Grace's processors are located?
You would need to access the console, which is directly across from the map.
Directly across from... Αυτό τι είναι όμως εδώ?
More missing equipment.
This looks carefully removed.
Άρα κάποιος είναι εδώ.
These are databanks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
The bookings seem to be coming from internal servers, meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done here.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system.
Οκ. Θα βρούμε κανένα ερημίτη εδώ πέρα με μακριά
this
γένεια
the
και το
console?
βρακί.
Yes, This is where humans can track activity within the spire.
Και πώς καταλαβαίνω τι είναι το
Elements of the
λαμπάκια.
interface are missing. I'm not sure I can access it.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try.
Πολύ καλή ιδέα, θα την πρότεινα. Αλλά ναι.
There are records
αρχίσαμε
here of
πάλι.
people who have occupied the rooms over the years. You got it.
Ωραία.
Do we know the spire's capacity?
50 units. There
Ωραία.
are millions of names here.
Millions.
There it is.
Κλάτς. Το έχουμε
A
ξεφτυλίσει
million
το
people
σύστημά
cycle
σας.
through here. No one could have lived here that long.
Το έχω
A few
ξεφτυλίσει το
weeks at
σύστημά
most,
σας,
by my
ρε.
estimates.
Έτσι, μπράβο.
Okay, I found record of an Everett who stayed on the third floor. Unlike other visitors, there is no record of him leaving the
Αυτός
spire.
είναι.
So, Everett was a worker, or a colonist who lived here. Is that enough for you, Logic?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
So I'll need to find a way up to the third floor.
Perhaps we can find one on the spire map.
Spire map. Πάμε πάλι.
All right. What are we looking for?
Grace
Λαμπάκια.
processors are located at the top of the structure, as
Εδώ.
might be expected. There is also a massive radio beacon.
The beacon is the key, Addie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the spire.
Just a few
Λίγο
minutes ago, you
πιο
wanted me to leave
βαρύτονος
on my
να ήταν ο
ship.
Control, θα
The
μπορούσε
beacon
να
is
ήταν
the
Optimus
answer.
Prime.
It has always been the answer.
Okay. Can you get me to the beacon then? Control?
Control will not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Πού?
Ooh,
Εδώ.
maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to get there.
Reach level 3. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? Πάμε στο μπαλκόνι τώρα να δούμε που σκατά είναι αυτό το δωμάτιο του Everett.
I can see apartments.
Αυτό.
Those are on level 2.
Well, if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3.
Οκ, ναι, το βρήκαμε.
I can climb this.
Δώσ'
I
το.
suppose.
I don't see many other options.
Έλα ρε ανέβα. Μια χαρά φαίνεται. Ζημιά δεν έχει. Το θέμα είναι τώρα από εδώ. Θα περάσουμε από εδώ. Κάτσε να ρίξω μια ματιά πρώτα εδώ πέρα. Πας και έχει κανένα μυστικό achievement. Δεν έχει τίποτα απολύτως. Φύγαμε.
It's pretty much a straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Θα σπάσει
Even in low
λογικά.
G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Addie.
Το Outer Wilds το έχω παίξει στο
You
παρελθόν,
broke a leg.
Παναγιώτη.
How would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom.
Όλα καλά είναι. Όλα καλά. Βάζει και δραματική μουσική τώρα.
Whoa.
Addie!
Μη! Γιατί μωρή άχρηστη
Are you
έπεσες?
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling things while I'm trying to cross.
Πάμε πάλι.
So, you're going to try again after that? You nearly
ναι.
broke your neck, Addie.
Εγώ μια χαρά
Yep,
πήγαινα.
you're totally my
Να
mom.
ξέρετε, στο story
Almost
ήταν
kinda
να τη
fun.
ρίξει.
It's like really short flying.
Zero falls έχουμε σε αυτό το run. Να δω αν έχει ίντικο λουλούδι. Έχουμε βάλει να φυτέψουμε τώρα.
Please, be careful. This is so cool.
Quiet, please.
Έλα πάμε.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Yikes.
Ήρεμα.
This is so
Ήρεμα.
exciting.
Θες
Breathe,
να
Addie.
σταθεροποιηθώ πρώτα? Ωραία.
Very good.
Άρα δεν πατάω δεξιά-αριστερά όσο
Keep
προχωράω.
walking forward.
Αναφάσεις με βάζει
I can't watch.
να κάνω το left-right. Έλα όλα καλά, εσύ με βάλεις τώρα που έχουμε φτάσει. Πήδα και
I
φτάσαμε.
knew you could do it.
Μπράβο ρε
Should
εμπαθήμων,
really
εσύ με
try running across
υποστηρίζεις.
next time.
I'm hoping there won't be a next time.
It'd
Ο
be
πάλι
faster
πολύ
too.
ωραίος. Γεια σας.
Looks pretty empty.
Ου,
Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
μήπως να ρίξουμε καμιά
Two-week
ντάγλα?
work contracts?
Να κάνουμε ενέργεια εδώ.
Or were people just visiting the
Με βάλεις πάλι να περάσω απέναντι από κάπου. Να σκοτωθώ. Κρεβατάκι μπορεί να ρίξουμε καμιά ταγλίτσα εδώ στην ώρα που έχουμε. Πρέπει να μου πριστεί τα πόδια μας στο περπάτημα.
I don't see a way up.
Ωραία.
We still have one level to go.
Πόσο ψηλά είναι το ρημάδι,
There's
μωρέ?
another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to
Α, και την
explore.
ονόμασε Mom. Τώρα θέλω όντως να εξερευνήσω, αλλά πάμε και να πέσουμε.
Might be worth it.
It's a lot farther down. Are you sure?
No.
Please don't fall.
Έγινε,
How would saying that
μάμα.
be helpful?
Look at that drop. Really makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
Let's keep it that way.
Ήρεμα, ήρεμα. Κάτσε.
Hang on. You got
Ισιωστό.
this.
Ισιωστό.
I'm trying.
Ισιωστό. Κούκλα.
That's it.
Λογικά
Well
ακόμη μια
done.
φορά θα το κάνουμε αυτό. Έτσι, γλυκά, γλυκά. Γλυκά, γλυκά. Πολύ ωραία.
Oh,
Οπο,
boy.
οπο, οπο, οπο. Οπο, 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 οπο. Οπο.
Easy, Addie.
Πω, 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 πω,
Concentrate on your
πω,
breathing.
πω, 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 πω. Έτσι, μπράβο. Τώρα το
in
φέραμε πολύ πιο
control.
γρήγορα. Η εμπειρία. Τώρα δεν το κάνεις άλλη φορά, σε βαρέσω χαστούκι.
Totally worth it, right, Addie?
I
Εννοείται.
don't have words.
You're not my real mother. Παίζει να χάσαμε πράγματα βέβαια. Και αν και πράγματα δεν έχει το παιχνίδι, οπότε δεν νομίζω να χάσαμε κάτι ιδιαίτερο. Ίσως κάνα ακόμα κομμάτι της ιστορίας, αλλά ποιος παίζει narrative παιχνίδι για την ιστορία.
This is level 3, Addie.
Χαίρομαι πάρα πολύ.
Let's look for evidence of Everett.
Για παίξε μπαλίτσα εδώ.
What's the code?
Of course. I'm sorry I
είναι
don't have
4.
the beams very well.
Well, it shows you care, I guess. There we go.
Κούκλι.
Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look
Κάποιος
around.
κοιμήθηκε πάντως εδώ. Φαίνεται ανάκατο σε αντίθεση με το πρώτο που συναντήσαμε. Αυτό εδώ τι είναι?
What are these?
From what I
Waffles.
can tell, they're audio recordings.
Α,
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback device to learn more.
πάρω το.
There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier.
Το ήξερα.
But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Για δώσε.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Τι θα βγει τώρα?
Hello?
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Έχουν πλάκα τα
Already
interactions
done.
ανάμεσα στις
Just hold your device
προσωπικότητες.
up to the canister.
Δώσ' το.
You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
Άρα θα παίξουμε την πύλια.
Hello, Grace. I've thought much about what I'd say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my
Grace.
wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you,
Γιατί ήταν
Grace.
Ginny, ήταν η Grace.
People came here to make wishes?
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
Δεν πας και ξεφύγει η τέτοια. Και αν ξεφύγει και οι άνθρωποι βέβαια στο πώς τη βλέπανε. Μου ακούγεται λίγο τρομακτικό αυτό. Όχι το αναγκαστικά τρομακτικό, ανησυχητικό απλά.
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Θα έχεις όμως.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Λοιπόν, μαμά.
You go.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants.
You can do this one.
Of course.
Για το χρόνο να γλιτώσουμε, παιδιά, για τίποτα άλλο. Έχουμε εδώ σκαμνάκι διαστημικό, κρεβάτι στρωμένο. Εδώ δεν έμενε κανένας. Αλλά έχουμε και άλλο όντιο εδώ. Όπ, τι έχει εδώ. Ο Harry Potter ήταν εδώ.
Looks like Olympia Mon colors. I guess the team's old enough.
Γιατί δεν το παίρνουμε να το φορέσουμε.
All right.
Έλα, το έκανα ήδη. Α, όχι, ήταν το... νόμιζα ήταν ήδη φωτεινό.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from our station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now.
Γιατί?
People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
Clearly, these canisters were not making it through the tube system. We should inspect the tubes for more.
Good idea.
Of course it is.
Okay. Αυτό είναι το tube system,
Let's try this one.
Α, έχει κι άλλο εκεί μέσα.
My wish? Oh, I'll tell you my wish. 10 years ago, we're on Venus at the Big Dome. Huge crowd. Olympia Mons.
εξού και το κασκόλ.
Loses 5-1. 6 years ago, on Earth against South Union, loses 2-1. 2 years ago, South Union again. This time up north, I took the boys 3 months round trip. They go 90 minutes, no score. Extra time, no score. South Union takes it again in penalties. You want my wish, Gracie? The next World Cup is on Mars. I wish that Olympia faces South Union again and destroys them, like Space Me Out the Airlock humiliated. That would be a game. That's my wish. So how do I end this recording?
Olympia's still a cool
Πήγαν
team.
3 μήνες ταξίδι για να δουν έναν αγώνα.
Grace likely fostered sports as an alternative outlet for uncontrolled aggression. Of course people would come to her to share their passions.
Μάλιστα. Οκ. Βέβαια πάω στοίχημα ότι το επόμενο διαμέρισμα που θα πάμε θα είναι αυτό.
I've got one. We can name him Pal Jr.
Δεν
I
ακούγεται
was
σαν
thinking
Junior.
something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think
Okay.
of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
Λοιπόν, αυτό είναι το διαμέρισμα που πρέπει να πάμε σίγουρα. Περισσότερα φώτα, περισσότερα όλα. Ωραία. Δεν θα πάμε όμως σήμερα. Γιατί ήρθε η ώρα να χωρίσουν οι δρόμοι μας. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ για την παρέα, παιδιά. Να είστε καλά. Είχε πλάκα το παιχνίδι για το είδος παιχνιδιού που είναι. Είχε το ενδιαφέρον του, έτσι όπως παίζει το σενάριο με τα AI και τους συνδυασμούς και αυτά. Θα το συζητήσουμε κάποια άλλη φορά που θα σας δώσω πίσω τα δικαιώματά σας, αν θέλετε να το ξαναδούμε. Αλλιώς το συζητάμε διαφορετικά. Καλό βράδυ. Τα λέμε τώρα εμείς αύριο το βράδυ. Αντίο, φιλάκια και καλό ύπνο.